like I said, I'm not done yet. I mean, we still got four games left, and not just myself being done yet. This whole team's not done yet. So we're going to go back to the drawing board. We're going to watch the film today and definitely go in and try to clean up.
I think I said it yesterday, you don't deserve the win when you play the way that we play, right? So I told our guys today, our playmakers or guys who are our best players have to play their best, and they have to make plays.
All right, a very, very tough one in so many different ways. The Texans, unfortunately, guys, we have to say what it is. We have to, okay? I know y'all love me and I love y'all, but the Houston Texans got absolutely embarrassed and pushed around by the New York Jets. That's the only way to really describe it. Now, do the Texans have excuses? Do the Texans have reasons in why this happened? Do the Texans have, cop-outs? Yes. And they are excuses. Everyone has them. They're like armpits. You heard the sayings. You have the cop-outs. Just because there are labels on the reasons why the Texans lost does not make them invaluable. Okay? And I want to start with a few injuries. Hear out this injury list. Of course, CJ Stroud, he's in concussion protocol. He got kicked out about 6 minutes left in the game of the fourth quarter. There's no issue with him. He could have played better. Let's keep going. Will Anderson Jr. with an ankle injury. He was out. Nico Collins with a calf injury. He was kicked out in MetLife Stadium. And Taveri Thomas, a corner who I like for you guys, number 4, if my correctly serves me memory, he as well was also out with a hamstring injury. And then Blake Cashman, my guy, a very impactful linebacker, runs to the ball, always on 100%, never stops, has the motor. He gets kicked out of the game. This sucks. This team is so young, and this team was so poised for great things. They still are. I'm not over on the Texans, but I need to know in the comment section, where do you lie? Guys, we just saw a game without Tank Dell, and this game that I saw without Tank Dell, and you add in Robert Woods, and you add in Xavier Hutchinson, you add in those pieces, you got Noah Brown out there taking up the snaps for Nico Collins, and then you see everything kind of dilate the way that it did. It's going to be tough. And I'm going to say this just because it's out there. It's a meme. I don't want you guys to get discouraged, but you will see the Bryce Young Carolina Panther truthers coming for CJ Stroud's head. They're going to start making the comparisons that Bryce Young hasn't had anyone to help him out. Let's see how CJ Stroud does in the upcoming weeks. Him not having potentially Nico Collins with the calf injury, and of course not having Tank Dell, and him having to rely on an older receiver in Robert Woods, and having to rely on a receiver like Noah Brown, and of course the new rookie Xavier Hutchinson as well. Now, Xavier Hutchinson, I want to talk about him. I want to start out with that. He has to be the guy over Robert Woods. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. If there is going to be a guy that even if he has to play the slot more, he is going to be the better option 10 times out of 10 over Robert Woods. From what I saw, and of course, if you don't know, now you know, at Iowa State, Xavier Hutchinson was a 6'2" nightmare in the middle. Very Keenan Allen-esque as a slot guy. So I definitely believe he has all the opportunity and growth to really learn in that position. I like him in that position, but it can't be Robert Woods, guys. It can't. There were so many weird plays. There's a guy named Carter on the Jets. His guy was Robert Woods. Every throw, every ball to Robert Woods was either an impossible throw to an impossible angle with an impossible amount of spacing or a legitimate potential interception. Let's just strapped up. Just strapped up completely. It can't be Robert Woods, guys. It cannot be. Tank Dell was on the field so many different times, so many different ways to where it literally forced Robert Woods on the bench in all ways. And so now that you see Mr. Tank Dell out and you see Mr. Woods in, completely different offense. Sheldon Rankins, I'm going to give you guys some praise. There's some good things that happened on this horrible day for you guys. 29-year-old Sheldon Rankins. As I'm watching this game, I'm just like, dang. Sheldon Rankins is new, and he was just on the New York Jets. This better not be a one-year deal thing, but I did my research. I went and checked. You guys got him for another 3 years after this year, so that's great news. He needs to be in the building. From a culture standpoint, from an impact standpoint, the ferociousness in which he plays. I mean, if we really want to keep it a whole stack, that running game for the Jets, at least up the middle, it really wasn't, nothing was really ever happening. You know, the Jets were able to do a lot of great things, and if people don't see the game, then they're going to be able to say, wow, the Jets beat the Texans 30-6. So if you're goofy, you didn't see the game, you're going to have that impression. You're going to have that look. The score was 0-0 at halftime. All right? At halftime, no one had scored. At halftime, a slew of players for the Texans side had already been out, not even coming back in. I'm pretty sure Nico was like the first drive, maybe the second, where he got kicked out. And then just the injuries started stacking up on each other. Things really didn't set in for the Jets until the fourth quarter. Late in the third quarter, early in the fourth quarter. So this Texans team was able to go blow for blow, shot for shot, with an overpowering defensive unit in the Jets. CJ Stroud was sacked 4 times by this offensive line, in which weeks in and weeks out, I've been giving crazy praise to, and they've earned it. But I do believe one thing that I saw that this Jets defensive line has that very few other defensive lines can actually put forth on a consistent basis throughout a game. The athleticism was something that this line was not ready for. The athletes, the moving, the way they were able to just move. They have interesting combinations with their defensive tackles in a Solomon Thomas in one snap, and then having Quinnen Williams also being there. They were just beating off each other very, very well in that game. And then you had Jermaine Johnson, another edge that's a little bit leaner, has a lot of speed. It was just very, very tough for that offensive line just due to the amount of speed and athleticism that the defensive line was able to use. And another issue in which, from what I saw, the reason why the Brevin Jordan, who was your leading receiver, okay, Brevin Jordan with 3 receptions and 35 yards, and Andrew Beck had 1 reception for 26 yards. He's the second guy with yardage, and then Xavier Hutchinson had 2 catches for 15 yards. That's going to happen if you have Nico Collins out, of course, and then if you have Tank Dell out, even more so, and then Dalton Schultz, who's on IR, I believe, or he's just been out. He's just been hurt. That's what's going to happen. CJ Stroud, you're about to go through a lot of different growing pains if this doesn't work itself out. CJ Stroud, you're about to have a very, very similar fate as to one of your best friends, if I may not say your brother, and Bryce Young. You guys have been living very different realities in the realm of the NFL rookie season. Very different realities. And that's not to take away from the masteries that Mr. CJ Stroud has done and performed this season, but that is also to illuminate some pressure for the reality of rookie quarterbacks. It's never really beautiful. And CJ Stroud has been able to show that he is above the rookie standard, which I agree. He is very, very much up there above the rookie standard, but he hasn't had any rookie hazing in the realm of bad luck. And the realm of bad luck that most rookies, if not all rookies in the quarterback position go through, he's been clean. He's been crystal clean. And so we are starting to see the football gods testing in one Mr. CJ Stroud, along with the Houston Texans organization. Hey, guys, for the next week, y'all are going to be hearing and seeing the media trying to bring down CJ Stroud. This wasn't a good game for Mr. Slovic as well. And I'm willing to say it's just because the athletes weren't out there. There's no speed. I mean, if you look at the placement of some of these balls that CJ Stroud is leaving out there for these receivers to catch, they're pretty nice and they're pretty on point. But the DB's right there. They're in their bag. And that was another big thing that I wanted to let you guys know. The leading tacklers are DJ Reed, Sauce Gardner, and the linebackers in Quincy Williams and CJ Mosley. Yo, they were on y'all's ass. No other way to put it. The athletes need to be refilled, and I know it's because of injury. I don't have anything for you, though. Sorry, I have nothing to tell you. You can't be a better athlete in the next week in John Mechie and in Xavier Hutchinson. He's no lightning rod. And then you have Robert Woods as well, who I know he's faster than me, but it's going to look a lot of a closer race between him and I. So you got to get athletes. You can't become more athletic. And so this begs the question, is wide receiver in the first round a possibility? Let me know in the comment sections, guys. Please do me another favor and do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.